Hello and welcome to the 405. I'm Allison Miller.
I'm Jordan Pritchard. Today we will go out to different places in Oklahoma and capture things to do.
We will be showing you the cool places to see and seeing the different sites around and near the metro. First, we're going to toss it over to Jamie Hardison, who's introducing us to a place where you can relieve some of that stress.
Are you stressed out and are you looking for somewhere to relieve that internal pressure? Release all of that in Breakroom 405. This local admin business is aiming to motivate emotional release by destroying anything and everything. Let's take a look.
Well, last summer, my husband and I were on vacation on a road trip, of course, because pandemic, and trying to think of ways that we could help our son who has mental illness to overcome the extra anxiety that he was having on top of what was going on in the world. Very excited. In my research, I was looking up rage rooms. I come across rage rooms and I said, what in the world is a rage room? And come to find out, it's very therapeutic for people who have, mental health issues, anxiety, things that just are bothering them, that they can come in a room and release all of that by smashing things. In each of the rooms, they have weapons of mass destruction, is what we like to call them. And there's also a timer and the ability to hook up to our Bluetooth speakers. There's also things in the room like car hoods, chains that you can hook things to smash it with a bat. We have crowbars, we have sledgehammers, regular hammers, and we even have golf clubs in there. So if you want to tee off on a beer bottle, you can go ahead and do that. It is your room to take out everything that you get in your crate. You get things in your crate, anything 16 to 18 different items, anything ranging from electronics to bottles to knickknacks, anything you can find at grandma's house that's, all her old china, we put that in there too. We have PPE that we give all of our guests when they go into the break room. They have coveralls, we have our helmets, we have cut-resistant gloves, and then we also offer masks for any type of respiratory issues, or if you just want to beat the crap out of a mask, we're okay with that too. We also have what's called Smash Alley. Smash Alley is an area where all ages can go and put on some goggles and grab some small breakable items and throw it against the wall as hard as they can. So we have what's called the bat graveyard, and each time someone breaks a bat, they're able to we put it up on the wall, and we put a plaque up there with their name and the date that they destroyed the bat.
For more information, you can go to their website at breakroom405.com.
Our next location is perfect for an old soul. Ike Wilcox introduces us to a store where the past is coming back.
What's old is new again, and on the edge of Edmond, there's a resurgence of vinyl. Come take a look at Three Dachshunds Record Store to listen to the sounds of both the past and present.
My name is Jack Ware. This is my wife, Betty Ware. I'm the owner and operator of Three Dachshunds Records, and she's kind of like the assistant.
It's like the whole, it was really neat. It's like Robert's life.
Well, we have Elvis and Beatle vinyl, 50% off. And then we have soul and rhythm and blues. That's a pretty big section. And on the other side, we have new country and then vintage or used country. There's a lot of young people that do buy vinyl nowadays, and believe it or not, they buy a lot of the 70s and the 80s vinyl, which has been reproduced, or we may have in our inventory as used vinyl. Then there's an older crowd, late 20s, 30s, even 40s, even later than that, and they like a lot of the new stuff as well as a lot of the vintage vinyl.
I'd have to say I go to vinyl just because I think it's a bit magical, as cliche as that sounds. I mean, it's like the physical piece of music, and you can touch it, you can hold it. And take, for example, like Jack White's Blunderbuss and Lazaretto. Just taking out that process, I think it makes me appreciate more putting on that vinyl and listening to the music, because I know how much work goes into it, from the vinyl art to the actual vinyl itself. Just knowing that this album itself holds all these songs that have maybe helped transform me or even changed my life in really dark periods, I just think is absolutely beautiful.
We chose to name it Three Dotsons in memory of three Dotsons that we used to have. My whole family was musically inclined. By the way, they could all sing. So because my brother was a major in music in college, and he either owned or worked in record stores all his life, so I knew a little bit about music.
We have a lot of repeat customers, a lot that love us and follow us.
So we go out of our way to please customers. You know, there's a little give and take sometimes in the price and this sort of thing, but I'll work with just about anybody in resolving any issue they may have. There's one element of that sound that does not come through on a CD that does on a vinyl.
Located off West Edmond Road, Three Dotsons is just the place to find your perfect vinyl record.
If you love the great outdoors, there's plenty of experience right here in Edmond.
UCO's Boathouse at Arcadia Lake provides free outdoor activities for students. And the best part? It's open all year. And if you're a true thrill seeker, there's even a seasonal zip line.
So UCO Boathouse is a campus-affiliated organization located on Midwest Boulevard at Arcadia Lake. We're located in the middle of Edmond Park, so we have big access to the community as well as access to lake resources for students and faculty, staff. And so a big part of what we do out here is that we keep ourselves open to anyone that wants to come in. So we have community rates and we keep ourselves free to all the students. So as long as you have a student ID, you can get in for free. We've got, as you kind of see behind me here, we've got single kayaks and we've got tandem kayaks. We've got mountain bikes, which are all kind of located kind of here in the bay. We have a whole rack of them back there. And we also have zip lines. We have a confidence course that we can do for bigger groups that come out. So UCO often or not hosts groups of 50 to 100 people out here at, quite a few times this summer actually. And we'll put them out on the zip line and then we'll run them through the water. And then we have a whole hangout area out here on the outside of the bay, that we can do campfires and, weenie roasts, just hang out, team building games, and then just a general chill place to just have a good time. Anything that really anyone wants to just come out here and do, or just have a good place to hang out, we can definitely provide that here at the Boathouse. So we see a lot of people out here, but I do hope that we get a little more publicity with the campus, because I think students need to know more that this is a free resource to them. So as long as they have the time to come out here and see us, we have the time to put them out in the water. I found this place through the, actually just the UCO job website, and I've always been a big advocate of outdoor activities, always been kind of an active active person myself. So I called Becca and I wanted to kind of check out like some of the stuff they have here, and it literally is like kind of a little vacation away from campus, because like you get out here and you don't realize it's here, and you're like, oh man, we have a whole fleet of boats, you know, and we have a zip line and stuff. Like, they never tell us about this. And so once I got here and I saw all that, like I immediately knew like I wanted to be a part of that, because I want to, like, you know, I'm like doing that as a job, like why not, you know? And so I think for sure, for me, it was just the activity part, you know, being able to be outside, work outside, and, you know, not feel like it's work, more or less just feeling like, you know, you're having fun at your job. That's definitely what we do here.
All you need is your student ID and signing that safety waiver.
Local nonprofit Wings Special Needs Community held their annual Fall Festival and Pumpkin Patch over the last month. These festivals featured fun events for the entire family.
We are at Wings Special Needs Community in Edmond, and we are excited to be in the second weekend of our month-long Fall Festival. It's held on weekends only. We have a pumpkin patch, hay rides, corn maze, and beautiful pumpkin selection to decorate. We have people that come back year after year to support our mission, and that's probably the most touching part to me.
We have a daughter with a lot of medical issues and disabilities, so we wanted to be able to support this organization because we find it's very important for the community.
Last year, actually, we made a few precautions, and one that we are still practicing is cleaning the pumpkin train, sanitizing it before the small children get on. We have hand sanitizing stations around. And then last year we had to do more physical distancing, especially with our hayride. It had to be reconstructed for 6 feet of separation. But this year we've removed that. I will say that harvest was affected. Supply and demand has been an issue with COVID, and even with some of our weather this year. So there were a few things that we had trouble getting, corn stalks, but we still have an amazing selection of pumpkins.
It's nice to be able to be outdoors and be safe and buy our pumpkins and get ready for the holidays.
Yes, the pumpkin. We wouldn't be able to do this without volunteers. Wings wouldn't be possible without volunteers. There's a lot of people that don't know who we are or what we do, and our volunteers are passionate about what we do, and they want to see us grow. To support Wings, please follow us on social media, both on Facebook and Instagram. We have upcoming fundraisers, and the best way to learn about Wings is go to wingsok.org.
The festival recently wrapped up for the year in Edmond. For more information involving the Wings organization, be sure to visit their website.
A local artist and performer, Chelsea Parks, brings her own unique style to the Oklahoma circus community. She is owner of Hooplahoma, which is the only company of its kind here in the state.
If I have a mission on this earth, it's to spread joy to as many people as I possibly can. I think people really need to feel joy now more than ever. That's right. If I can get people to feel joy, then I've done my job. I found a video of a giant hoop, and a core memory for me. Seeing the sear wheel for the first time, I remember being like, I think I understand how that works and I want to try it so bad. I knew that I wanted to try it someday, but I also knew that no one around here did it. And so I would be the only one. And this was at a time in my life where I was like ready to just change everything all at once. Bought the sear wheel, decided, okay, if I could teach myself to ride a unicycle, then I can teach myself to do the sear wheel. It turned out to be a lot harder than the unicycle. Hula hooping was like a hugely healing thing for me. It was super therapeutic. It was very different than unicycling. Unicycling was fun and silly, and it was like a hard thing to learn and accomplish. Hooping was different because I was not good at it, but I loved it so much. The time that I started hooping, I was working 3 different jobs, and I would get up extra early so that I could spend 10 minutes in my backyard with a hula hoop, just because it was that therapeutic for me to like get into my body. Yeah, I knew that circus was a career that I wanted to pursue as soon as I figured out that it was an option. And so I dedicated myself to learning the sear wheel. I quit my job and got my old job back where they would let me have whatever schedule I wanted. I moved in with my grandma, starting my business, Hooplahoma, and figuring out how to establish a presence on social media and like connect to people. And what I did is I just posted all my progress videos of learning sear wheel, and then I started to get connected to all the other sear wheelers on Instagram. But I went to Big Wheel Weekend in Chicago where they had a whole weekend of training with coaches, and at the end of the weekend was a competition for sear wheel, and I entered myself in the competition. I was the only female that competed. I am now the 2018 female champion, national champion of sear wheel. This is 10 months after starting sear wheel. I would love to be able to support my family doing this. I want to continue to perform for as long as my body will let me.
It's a trick that I'll probably never get just because it's so dangerous to learn and you need help, and that's the bat coin. And so I'll show you the regular coin. This is a regular coin. So the bat coin is this, except I'm facing the other way. My back is to the ground. So some sear wheelers I know, they go back into it, and they do this with their hands, and they're like really flexible, and they're upside down doing that. And I'm okay if I never learn that trick.
I just want to keep doing pretty much exactly what I'm doing now, which is performing at community events, doing library and school shows, and somehow making a living being a circus performer in Oklahoma.
I clean it with the acetone. This one I don't usually take apart just because I can strap it to the top of my car and it's fine. Yeah. The other one I take apart, the white one though, the white one is just for performances. So that one I take apart and put it in a case. And it gets nice, deep cleaned, keep it looking fresh and shiny. This is my practice wheel, so I just take it anywhere. I take it outside, inside, whatever.
Me discovering that I could do this stuff changed my life. So if I can somehow communicate that to somebody who needs to realize that all they need to do is believe in themselves, that is my goal when I'm performing.
We hope to see the talented Hooplahoma in upcoming events in the future.
And next, MC introduces us to an activity perfect for anyone who loves the outdoors, or maybe even the indoors.
Rock climbing is not for the faint of heart, and imagine doing it without a rope. Hold on for a look at a specific type of climbing called bouldering, indoor and outdoor across Oklahoma.
Can't look at the camera, right?
You're doing great.
Okay. I started climbing about a year and 1 month ago, if we're being exact. I've really enjoyed it. The community is really welcoming, I guess, compared to other communities that I have been a part of. Oklahoma's an interesting spot for it too. Not a lot of places to go, but the places we do go, we make the most of it.
So I am a student at OSU OKC right now. I'm majoring in forensic psychology eventually. And then I work at both Plant, which is a vegan cafe in downtown Edmond, and then I work at Blockworks, which is a climbing gym across the street.
I'm an employee at Blockworks. I work at the front desk and do coaching for classes as well. And I am a student at UCO. I'm in the computer science department, and I recently moved back to Oklahoma from New Mexico in the springtime. Yeah, bouldering is basically climbing without a rope on a shorter boulder or wall, and then you have a large pad underneath you. And so it tends to be like instead of like climbing a ton of moves to go up like 60 feet, you're climbing like 12 feet with a couple harder moves. The main thing that I pull away from Blockworks is the community. There's a lot of climbing gyms where you can just like train really hard and get super, super strong and stuff, but the thing that I really enjoy about Blockworks is just how friendly people are and how people will come in and just sit around and chat with each other and work on problems together, and just like climb and just like sit in the community.
I don't think I would have stuck with climbing if it wasn't for all the people that are involved and everybody else that works, especially at Blockworks, the gym that I climb at. I don't think I would have stuck around if it was not so friendly. Everybody's really encouraging, and I think the thing about climbing is everybody is looking out for everybody else's best interest, and we all want to see everybody else excel. It's like you don't wish anything bad upon anybody else. So.
Climbing recently debuted in the Olympics. If you want to feel like an Olympian, there are multiple areas in the metro to climb inside. If you're willing to take the trip to Lawton, you can even go climb outside.
Thanks for tuning in to the 405.
Stay tuned for more exciting places to see.